RaymondJames.com.
Welcome to Otterson Wealth Advisors of Raymond James, where our team is not just a team, it's a vast resource of financial knowledge, with each member bringing their unique expertise to your financial success.
Meet Caleb Cronick, financial advisor, a Naval Academy graduate, and SEMA certified pro. Through the University of Chicago, his strategic prowess is your asset working towards your financial goals. Ready to begin to your journey? Visit OttersonAdvisors.com. Otterson Wealth Advisors, your goals, our expertise. Raymond James Associates, Inc., member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC.
Frank Frangie here. Do you find yourself straining to catch every word, missing out on the sweet sounds of life? Then you need to go to see Jerry Howard at Ponte Vedra Hearing Associates. His team will assess your hearing needs with a free screening and recommend a personalized solution. Ponte Vedra Hearing Associates offers professional quality hearing health care with the most competitive pricing. Call 404-5108. That's 404-5108 or visit PonteVedraHearing.com today.
Are you still feeling the heat this summer? Looking to keep your cool? Look no further than Lloyd's Heating and Air. At Lloyd's Heating and Air, we're your go-to experts for all things HVAC. Whether you're building a new home, need a brand new AC installation, or just want to make sure your current system is running at peak performance, we've got you covered. Our skilled team specializes in new construction HVAC, making sure your home or business is comfortable from the moment you step inside. LloydsHeatingandAir.com. CMC 1249834.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Miami had an offensive explosion against Texas A&M, leading to a 48-33 win. This is easily the biggest win in the Mario Cristobal era, but he says they are nowhere near where he wants the team to be. Quarterback Tyler Van Dyke led the way with a career-high 5 touchdowns. He finished 21 of 30 for 374 yards. Up next for the Hurricanes is Bethune-Cookman on Thursday night.
If you're looking for exterior solutions that provide you reliability and durability, it's time to call Armor Guard Exteriors. Whether you need seamless gutters or gutter protection, hurricane products, impact windows, glass lanais, or retractable awnings and screens, we've got you covered. Call My Home Team today for your 5-star experience at 904-906-8669.
Armor Guard Exteriors, committed to quality, and that's a promise.
Hey, Matt Hayes here. Expert Automotive is now open at our brand new state-of-the-art facility on St. John's Bluff Road. As always, every repair comes with a lifetime service repair warranty. Come celebrate our grand reopening by getting a free AC inspection, $50 off any repair, $199 brake specials, and free diagnostics all month long. Call 374-3373 or visit us at our new location at 2190 St. John's Bluff Road. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey sports fans, this is Hayes Carline from MyBookie. Look, as a bettor, you demand perfection, and MyBookie delivers. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. It gives you options to bet and win all season long. If the first 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for a chance at a bigger payday. Join the MyBookie family for an entire season filled with odds boosts, free bets, and super contests. This is the best time of year to get your bets in and start the football season off with some winners. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. That's promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus, and for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
I'm Shane with Renew Solutions, an expert in transforming your hardwood floors to a timeless and elegant new look. For any wood floor repairs, replace, or installs, I've got you covered at Renew Solutions. Visit renewjacksfloors.com.
1010XL will be live from Racetrack on Pritchard Road, Thursday, noon to 3 with XL Primetime. Show your CDL to win Racetrack gift cards worth up to $500. Thursday, noon to 3 from Racetrack on Pritchard Road. Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
How many MLB records does Pete Rose still hold?
How long has it been since you compared homeowners' insurance rates? Log on to southernoak.com to get an instant quote or find an agent near you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Pete Rose holds the Major League Baseball records for most hits, most at-bats, most games played, and is tied for most seasons with 200 or more hits.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. A Jacksonville native was part of NFL history on Sunday.
He throws, it's caught, and Bryce Young has his first NFL touchdown pass to Hayden Hurst.
Carolina Panthers tight end Hayden Hurst from Jacksonville and the Bowl School caught the first career touchdown pass of number 1 overall pick Bryce Young. Former Trinity Christian running back Trayon Webb scored his first 2 career touchdowns as a Florida Gator on Saturday night against McNeese State. And there was a Jacksonville connection in New England on Sunday. Bowl School alum Mac Jones connected 4 times for 40 yards with Mandarin High School alum Demario Douglas. It's 85 degrees at 6 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Typical Monday around here, right? Wet, nasty, rainy, dreary, gloomy. That's not the case. Sure, the weather is doing that to you, but it's a Victory Monday right here in Duval. It's a road win against a divisional opponent, and it's a cover. It's a cha-ching. Whether you were at Louis Pool Hall or you did it on the intranet, you cashed out after week 1. The Jaguars trailing again in the fourth quarter. They set things up on would have been a mistake if he was tackled, right? Getting the ball at the 5. Jamal Agnew, but it was a great wall. Caleb Johnson, Daniel Thomas, Darius Williams, and Agnew took it up around the corner, 40-some-odd yards. Trevor Lawrence would orchestrate a fourth-quarter drive, and the Jaguars go to 1-0 to kick off the 2023 season. Great to have you with us alongside the incomparable J.J. LaSelva. I am Rick Ballou. Not a perfect game, and tell you what, and I don't have a problem with it, okay? But you talk about how the expectations have changed in one season. I'm trying to think of the last time around here when the fan base was complaining about a 10-point victory. And that's almost like a college football feel. You know, in college football, there's always that dreaded, got to play to the level of your competition. And any of the big boys here, you've dealt with that with decades. You're like, they played so well a week ago against a formidable opponent. And then here comes a directional school, and they kind of, worked their way through it and stumbled a little bit. There was the lack of juice. Fans get uptight about that, always have in college football. Winning the NFL is a win. And I don't care how you get it done. And the Jaguars did that yesterday. That first touchdown that they scored was really remarkable. All part of that 9-play drive, 61 minutes. And to see the skill in Calvin Ridley and the skill in Trevor Lawrence, and not the offensive line there, which has been really criticized. Pro Football Focus is telling us the offensive line was not nearly as bad as what your eye test gave it. Then again, who knows what to believe with Pro Football Focus. The best example I'll give you is 2 weeks ago when Florida State knocked off LSU. Johnny Wilson was ranked like 20 points higher than Keon Coleman, okay? After a 3-touchdown performance, Wilson had a couple of drops. He had a few more this past Saturday against Southern Mississippi. They said he was a better blocking wide receiver. Anyway, I don't want to go through the obligatory disclaimer with Pro Football Focus. I don't know what to make out of it. I noticed that they actually came out and said that after Green Bay beat Chicago, that Jordan Love actually was ranked below. Help me out here. How come I can't think of the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears?
Justin Fields.
The kid out of Ohio State. Yeah, Justin Fields. Former Georgia kid, right? Two-way baseball player at Georgia. Football player at Georgia. Got kind of nasty there. I mean, SEC fans are nasty. They'll yell at you. They'll cross every possible line. In that case, it was a racial line. We saw it at Bama on Saturday, crossing the sexual orientation line. Those folks in the front row at Alabama. We know that is a very stupid fan base, right? We know that Bama fans typically are of the lowest common denominator when it comes to, A through Z. But the assorted language that they used is absolutely, positively not allowed anymore, okay? It's been gone for decades. And it'd be real easy for those Alabama fans, the Alabama authorities, to figure out exactly who it was. There's surveillance everywhere. Figure out who they were and don't allow them back in. Simple as that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's online everywhere after A&M goes on and gives Nick Saban his first double-digit home loss since 2003. But anyway, back to that 9-play drive that went 61 yards. Trevor Lawrence began scrambling, to his right as a right-handed quarterback. Then he's forced to turn around and run left. And to throw that football across his body, an absolute dime to a wide open, there wasn't anyone near 10 yards of Calvin Ridley, but the accuracy and the velocity of that touchdown pass was absolutely sensational. And during that drive, 4 receptions for Calvin Ridley. Yes, they would trail. Indy would find a way to come back. I actually thought Anthony Richardson in his very first game was okay. He made some mistakes. He was not helped by the fact that Indy didn't have a running back, right? Jackson, 13 carries, 14 yards. Overall, the backs in this game, 16 totes for 25 yards. That's not going to get it done. I thought the Jaguars' front seven really played well. And frankly, they played more snaps than I thought that they would. I figured that there would be maybe a little bit more of some substitution along that defensive front, but that really wasn't the case, particularly on the edge, where most of the snaps in this football game were Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen. And the latter played probably the best game of his career with the 3 sacks, with the 10 overall tackles. Looks like a man on a mission. To me, it looked like a man who was pissed that he was not voted in by his teammates as a captain. Looked like a man who wants to get paid. And, Chris Jones got paid today. It's a 1-year extension. Nick Bosa got paid last week. If you listen to the broadcast, you could hear the comments that were being made, that they believe he is going to be able to garner that type of package. I know that it's split. If I was to do a survey or throw it out there to you, the Jaguar fan, my guess is, it would increase a little bit after his performance yesterday. But let's say I did it on Friday. I'd put it right around 50-50. It comes up all the time. Most are like, move him. Move along without Josh Allen. Others are like, are you kidding me? You can't find pass rushers in this league. You got to re-sign them. They've waited to this point. Well, Josh Allen made himself a lot of money yesterday, whether it's here in Jacksonville or whether it is with another NFL franchise. That's the risk in all of this, all right? It's going to be the risk as well for Calvin Ridley, although right now I understand those set of circumstances. The guy hasn't played in a couple of years. you don't sign him to a long-term deal. You let him play out the 2023 season. So we'll see. Going to be interesting. But, 57 snaps yesterday for Allen, 61 for Walker. And overall, they both really played well. You had 4 pressures by Josh Allen. You had 4 pressures by Trayvon Walker. The grade for Allen was an 86.9. So depending on which way you look at it, there's really not any downside to his performance. I was expecting a little bit more, as far as that overall defensive line, whether it was spelling the outside linebackers or maybe a guy or two could give Roy Robertson Harris a blow or Big Foley a blow. Foley played 33 snaps after missing significant time, with that lower body injury. That's where they are at this point. With Devon Hamilton out, with Tyler Lacey not able to give it a go yesterday. Ledbetter did give him 26 snaps, and Angelo Blackson 22. By the way, the 2 new Jags you probably don't know a lot about. Angelo Blackson and Ross Blacklock, okay, a couple of middle defensive linemen, guys that can, in that 3-4 base that Jacksonville didn't play necessarily a whole lot of. Yesterday, they came out of it because Indy couldn't run, and Indy was going to pass the football outside of Anthony Richardson. They really did struggle. I will give credit as well to absolutely Trey Herndon. He took every snap at nickel. And Gregory Jr. apparently has a hamstring. He did not get in there at all. I was very vocal about this. I like being wrong when it comes to things like this. Herndon played well. Let's see. He had a Pro Football Focus ranking. I think he was 3rd defensively. It went Campbell, Allen, and then it was Trey Herndon overall with his PFF ranking. So he did a nice job in game 1, and I'm not one of those going to avoid it just because I said he should have been cut, just because I don't think he can cover anymore. He played well, and he certainly did against the Indianapolis Colts. All right, there's a lot to fix. There really is. And, overall, I think you should be excited. I do. You won on the road by 10 points. Okay? You looked like the better team. Indy's got a couple of defensive, stars. There's no doubt about that. What's alarming to me is Jacksonville on 3rd down. Okay? 3 of 12. Man, that's terrible. 3 of 12. And 1 of 3 on 4th down. I'm not a big fan of 4th down conversion rates. Oh, by the way, Indy was 1 of 5. So combine these 2 football teams. 2 of 8 yesterday on 4th down. It's too risky. I've always been one of those who believes that you should punt and trust your defense. I noticed that in the late game yesterday. Philadelphia, they had a lead. They went for it on 4th down. New England stoned them, and they were on the cusp of going in for the game winner. Unfortunately, Boutte could not get his 2nd foot down, so they ended up turning it over on downs. But you just look at the league percentage, and the lack of success rate on 4th down, I'm not a big fan of it, but they're going to do it. And we saw it 3 times yesterday with the Jags. Again, we saw it 5 times with a rookie coach in Indianapolis. That's the first thing that sticks out for me, though. Jacksonville has to get better there. Okay? I tweeted out earlier today. Let me see if I can find it for you. You look at plays per drive. Jacksonville yesterday averaged 4.67 plays a drive. Last year, they averaged 6.12. That may not seem like a lot, and I understand the sample size is puny after just 1 game, but that has to improve. A lot of criticism has gone in the direction of Doug Peterson and Press Taylor. Doug Peterson for formally announcing that Press Taylor is now going to be the play caller. Press Taylor's worked with Doug back in Philly. Press Taylor called plays, it has now been reported, in each and every one of the second halves a year ago. Let me stop you right there. For all of you who are criticizing, and that's fine. I love criticism. okay? It was the same Press Taylor, second half now, who was involved in all those comebacks. The Raiders, the Ravens, the Chargers, need I go on? 4 of those games during the, 7-2 stretch at the end of the year, they were trailing by double digits in the second half. So Press Taylor was responsible for that. And there's a lot being thrown around right now as to why is he calling the plays. And listen, I'm not here to provide lip service for Press Taylor, okay? He made mistakes yesterday. And what bothered me most with his mistakes, number one, I thought they abandoned the run a little bit too quick. And then all of a sudden they get back to the run, but it's a really bad series where you run Tank 3 times right up the gut. That didn't work, okay? He called a screen on a 4th and 1 with Evan Ingram. That didn't work. You had a 3rd and 2, and you come up with a Trevor Lawrence sneak. And then it's 4th and 1, and you double down with a Trevor Lawrence sneak. I don't need Trevor Lawrence sneaks in game 1 of a 17-game series on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if you're trying to tell me a Trevor Lawrence sneak is in play this week at home against Kansas City, okay. Maybe I'll listen to that a little bit. But not consecutive quarterback sneaks in game 1 with the face of your franchise. I don't like that. I didn't like the 3rd and 1. I felt it was like the old school Big 8. I thought it was like the old school Southwest Conference. I swear to God, that was like a sweep to Marcus Dupree. I was like, what are they doing? They're running a wide pitch to Travis Etienne. Why screens and pitches? You need a yard, right? We learned about this way back. What's the closest? What's the shortest distance from point A to point B? A straight line, right? Why are you going east and west? All you need's a yard. That's about manhood right there. That's about tightening up the chin strap, getting behind the big eaters. Bring in Brenton Strange. Look at what he did when Bigsby at least, redeemed himself with those 2 carries. For those of you hammering Tank Bigsby, slow down, okay? Go to a bar, order yourself a couple of Miller Lights, chase it down with a Tullamore Dew. I remember what you said last year about Trevor Lawrence after his loss in London, after the 2-6 start. There were a lot of you out there listening were telling me that Trevor Lawrence was a bust. You can go back to the year prior to that. Think of what you said about Tyson Campbell 8 games into his NFL career, where he could not locate the football. Guys get better. Coaching and hard work, if you are a very good athlete, your positivity is going to take over. Those are 2 great examples. Now, I understand all of a sudden you're going to be like, well, what's up with Tank? Does he have any sense of in-game? Okay, he ran out of bounds a couple of years ago against Alabama. They beat Bama if he goes down inbounds. And to me, that's unforgivable. It really is. If I was an Auburn fan, that to me is unforgivable. I was talking about the other night when Jordan Travis took like a 26-yard drop in the victory against Southern Miss, completed a pass for a first down, but I was thinking, man, I haven't seen anything like that since Casey Weldon in 1990 at Auburn took like a 25 to 30-foot drop and was sacked, and it took Florida State out of field goal range. And guys like me and others, you won't let that go. You'll take that with you until your final breath, and then you fall in the wooden box. I'd be the same way if I was an Auburn fan. How in the hell did Tank Bigsby not go out of bounds? So this is where teaching needs to come into play. Apparently, Tank Bigsby is not the greatest thinker while he's on the football field. The play yesterday, sure, I thought it was blown dead. I apparently no whistle blew, but that's simple common sense. And you can make the case that he'll learn from it. But, man, get off this guy. It's his first game. They really struggled last year in red zone. They were just over 53%. You realize yesterday they went 3 for 3 once they got inside the red zone. He's going to be a great red zone back. I really believe that, but I was pretty shocked. And, all of a sudden I'm just kind of like, what's going on around here? Folks 2 weeks ago climbed all over Travis Etienne for tweeting out about his brother, how he should go to play at for Prime, and I'm like, what? I'm like, are there really more Gator fans here in town than Jaguar fans? Look at the timeline. Look at the people reacting to the comment. And it was vicious. They're like, trade him for Jonathan Taylor. You suck. Get out of town. I'm like, what? And now all of a sudden you're on the backup. He made a bad play. He made a couple of really bad plays. Go back and look at Tyson Campbell. Go back and remember what you said last year about Trevor Lawrence. Anyway, lay off this guy. At least that's the way I do look at it. All right, we got a lot to do tonight. It's great to be victorious on a Monday because the whole week is really represented about it. And to me, that's always been what is most bothersome for you, the listener, okay, the hard worker. Heading home now to see the lovely wife, to see all those kids, right? It's great, it's great, it's great. Well, your life depends so much on it as far as your happiness when your team wins on Sunday. And it's been so bad for you year after year after year until they flipped the switch midway through the last season. But it's almost as if it's not raining out right now, right? Yes, people don't know how to merge on 295 and 9B and whatever. Yes, people are driving with one hand on the cell phone and have no respect for you as you're trying to drive. But it's kind of all right, isn't it? Because Jacksonville won this game. So that's the beauty of it, and that's what makes the week so much better. What I love about the NFL, and I think it's so different from college, because if you lose in college, for the most part, your season is over, unless you are one of the very few teams in college football that has incredible street cred, where they can come back and get right into it. And this year, I can look at 3 teams who have that. Clemson, if they win out. LSU, if they win out. Alabama, if they win out. They have street cred. In the NFL, that doesn't even apply. You relish in it today and tomorrow and Wednesday, and then usually around Wednesday night, Thursday, your attention completely shifts. And all of a sudden, you're like, wow, here comes Kansas City. Doug Peterson, 0-3 lifetime against Andy Reid. The Jaguars should have won this game last year, but it was a huge fumble by Jamal Agnew. It was an uncalled for, unforgivable drop by Christian Kirk. It was a defense that looked as though they spent absolutely zero preparation trying to defend Travis Kelce. I mean, they couldn't do anything with this man. He's a tight end, and they couldn't do anything with him. That's what you begin to think of, and that's what makes this sport arguably the greatest of them all. We'll be with you all week long for it. All right, let me tell you about Shmunez Vision. Man, I hope you have good eyes if you're driving home in this right now. And, they're located out at the beach. It's a family organization, and there's so much more than just getting contacts or glasses, in normal eye examination. We're talking about high-quality medical surgical eye care that included surgery on my right eye more than 8.5 years ago. Unfortunately, I'm not a candidate because of that surgery for laser eye surgery, but you may be. And just imagine 2020 for the rest of your life. Just imagine never having to deal with looking for your contacts. What's it like when you go to a game? What's it like when you go to a game here on Sunday? You go to a college game on Saturday or a high school game on Friday. Are you squinting? Are you struggling to see numbers? We too often just let the eyes go, and we worry about other parts of our body. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal. Take advantage of this right now. Check everything out at shmunezvision.com or set up an appointment at 299-2906. That is shmunezvision.com. JJ LaSelva.
Hola.
Are we on YouTube this week?
We are.
We're still on. Okay.
Yes, Fridays are a little touch and go depending on if Frank's in studio or not. But every other day we are on YouTube.
I'm sweating. Now, does that mean that I have been thinking? Or does that mean that I am miserably overweight and I need to start mixing in a salad?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe eating habits.
Okay.
Possibly drinking habits.
Could it be my excitement level?
It could be that.
Okay, I mean, I'm excited. The Jaguars won a road game by 10, and they did not play especially well. That's great news. This football team's going to get better. All right, if you would like to join us, as always, the best way for you to share your comments with us, 641-1010 on the text line, 641-1010 on our text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. We got a ton to do, including comments from Doug Peterson. Coming up on the other side, the Jaguars 1-0. They get it done on the road in Indianapolis, 31-21.
He straps on his helmet and steps into the danger zone.
You've got a pair of bogeys, 12 o'clock.
Go behind enemy lines with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Roger, that's your bogey.
On 1010XL. Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two long-haired blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market, most passing yards, pays the most for your trade, most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase, Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. I think we can make all this happen. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
With roofers knocking on your door every week after a storm, you may not know who to trust with a home improvement repair. You need a company that's fully licensed and doing it the right way. All Pro Roofing will professionally assess your needed repairs for roofs, windows, doors, and exteriors. If you think you may need repairs after a storm, call All Pro Roofing Windows and Exteriors. AllProRoofingLLC.com. License number CCC 1327056, CBC 060138.
Bowden Associates is here to tackle your family eye care needs like a pro. Hicken here. They're not just about glasses and contact, folks. No. They're about providing a complete eye exam that can detect more than you can imagine. It's like reading the defense, my friends, with a complete eye exam. Bowden Eye can monitor and even discover hidden medical conditions. They've got the playbook to keep you in top shape with 3 convenient locations across town. Bowden Eye has the First Coast covered.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us. But for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks. What I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners. Always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Universal Roofing Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roofing Contracting. The difference is universal.
Calvin Ridley had a monster outing for the Jags in Indy. The wideout finished the contest with 8 receptions for 101 yards and added a touchdown in what was a stellar debut with his new team. Ridley riddled the defense all game long and will look to do more of the same next week. Calvin Ridley is your Universal Roofing Contracting Offensive Player of the Game.
Make sure your home is protected this hurricane season by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roofing Contracting. And right now, get 10% off roof replacement and repairs. The first 50 callers will save an additional $500 on a full roof replacement. And this offer expires September 30th, and restrictions apply. Universal Roofing Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CVC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Did you know that many cooling companies are now part of big conglomerates with no connection to Northeast Florida? In the past, they have concentrated on heating and air conditioning, but after a buyout, many add plumbing and electrical services. This raises their overhead, and those costs are passed on to the consumer. It's a case where bigger isn't better, it's just more expensive. Not Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Mike Merritt remains family-owned and operated. Merritt's focus has been the same for more than 30 years, keeping Northeast Florida comfortable, no matter what the weather. And there are no overtime or weekend surcharges. Mike Merritt's team does not work on commission. They repair only what needs repair and offer replacements only on what can't be fixed. And unlike at giant corporations where you can feel like just another number, with Mike Merritt, you'll feel like number one. Florida license CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's going to be a busy week, no question about it. And what a week around here. Florida, Tennessee. Tennessee has not won at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in their last 9 attempts, which is sickening. It really is. I mean, everything about college football is rivalries. How can that even be a rivalry when you've lost 9 straight times there? Look at Florida State, Florida. Look at Florida State, Georgia. Look at Florida, Georgia. Look at Florida State, Miami. Yeah, there's peaks and valleys, but it's nothing like that, okay? It's not even close. Spurrier never won in Tallahassee. Florida State's had success in Gainesville. Florida State's had success at Miami. Miami's had success in God's country. Tennessee, I mean, this is disgusting. They've lost 9 straight at Florida. It's a total abomination. And we'll see what happens. But, you know, we have that.
They've actually only won 5 times in Gainesville in the entire history.
It's really a shame.
55, 71, 2001, and 2003.
Whenever I mention Tennessee, people say, oh, you're just pissed they beat you guys in 98. I'm like, no, I'm not, man. If Chris Weinke didn't have a broken neck, they would have lit up Tennessee. Florida State probably shouldn't even have been in that bowl game. I get pissed because those Tennessee fans just walk around like zombies. You know, this is our year, and then they can't win here. And look what happened a year ago. They were clearly the better team. And they allowed an Anthony Richardson pass at the end that if he complete, I know he threw it in the 20th row. If he completed that, they would have lost. So we have that coming up this weekend. Certainly, you know, another exciting week in the NFL. How about the NFL? 10 of 15 road teams have won. And I think most are picking Buffalo to win tonight in New York against the Jets. So that will be kind of exciting to watch that. All right, let's get back to the Jaguars. Obviously, that is the big story here in Duval. And, you know, it seems in a way I love it. because it's where you're at. The flip side, I kind of want to be like, whoa, just pump the brakes here a little bit. I mean, I was criticized during the offseason when I had them going 10-7. JJ and I redid it again Friday before the start of the regular season. I now increased it to 11-6. And a lot of Jaguar fans are like, well, what is wrong with you? How come you're only giving them 10 wins, 11 wins? I'm like, bro, you were one game above 500 a year ago. Okay, so I'm increasing this now by 4 games. That is a significant move forward. And the fan base now expects greatness. And I admire that. I love that. But I think some of the criticism is a little bit overbearing. I certainly feel that way about Tank Bigsby. Now, when you get to Press Taylor, I told you that I thought that there were some obvious mistakes. And here's what got me with Press Taylor. I felt like I could call the play. It's interesting how you evaluate yourself as a sports fan. We're all different. I mean, you could be someone who's deep into the beer and you're chasing skirts and a team picks up a first down, you're high-fiving your buddy. That's great. All the power to you. Or you can be someone else who's down in distance and your brain is saying, okay, they're running here. Or they're passing here. And it's more than just passing here. It's going to be a short route. Or you're going to take a shot. It's the same thing in baseball. If you're a real baseball fan, man, everything from when that batter walks up to the plate and the pitcher has his foot on the slab, you're guessing fastball, slider, what have you. That's the way that some fans think. Others, it really doesn't matter much. But that is what got me somewhat, is I was like, I'm pretty much predicting what Press Taylor is doing now offensively. And you know what? That's fine if you are successful. And I thought the team played well outside of short yardage. And I just gave you my opinion on that. Obviously, they have to improve on third down. But they did score 14 points early. I harp on that all the time. 2 years ago, they scored 7.6 points in the first 30 minutes of a game, giving that team virtually no chance of winning. Running out of the tunnel, scoring 7 or 8 points a game? Last year, you increased it to 11. Well, on Sunday, you scored a touchdown in the first quarter. You scored a touchdown in the second quarter. So you scored 14 points. That's nearly double of what you did 2 years ago. And I think that there's room for growth there. Obviously, 14.5, though, is something I think this football team would take. That put them right around 28 for the season. So, we'll see what ends up happening. But anyway, let's get to Press Taylor. Doug Peterson, these comments in the decision with Press Taylor to call plays, the timing of it was weird, okay? The fact that it became noticeable for everyone, or it was confirmed, a few hours before kick this past Sunday. I think that had a large effect on Jaguar fans. And obviously, most of you right now are not happy with this decision. Anyway, Doug Peterson today talked about his offensive coordinator, Press Taylor, now calling plays.
Press and I have been talking about this for 2 years now. And, it's something that, I've thought a lot about. And it's not an easy decision you without a lot of, conversation and just he and I talking about it. But, like I said after the game, I mean, he and I have been together now 7 years. We think alike. We kind of know each other. I trust him wholeheartedly. That's why he's my offensive coordinator.
I want to believe that this is an open dialogue, okay? And I think that should be the case for any head coach anyway. I mean, we never saw it with someone like Doug Marrone. We never saw it with someone like Gus Bradley. We certainly never saw it with Urban Meyer, who my sources tell me he was not listening to Dark Side of the Moon. He was listening to some old school metal, kind of like an album by Pink Floyd that is deep cut only. I'm watching Steichen on the sideline for Indianapolis on Sunday. You know, obviously when you have a coach like Mike McCarthy who took over the play calling, you know, he's on the hot seat. You know, Kellen Moore, see ya. I'm going to call the plays. Well, it worked last night for him. You see Sean Payton calling the plays. Head coaches, I mean, Spurrier did it. Bowden forever did it. And then all of a sudden he's like, okay, let's give it to Brad Scott, or, you know, let's give it to Mark Richt. It's so much to handle. I think only a few can consistently do this year after year after year, be the gameplay caller. But I also believe that when you hand over this responsibility, like he's done in this case now to Press Taylor, that there has to be conversations after almost every play. And the right to veto should still be there. And I know others are going to say, well, if you start doing that to him, then he's going to panic. He's not going to call the game with any type of flow. I don't believe that. I think that the conversation in between plays is something that has to happen between an active head coach, not a CEO, but an active head coach and his offensive coordinator. There are things he needs to get better at, no question. One of those is third down. And if you were to point out, you know, the biggest flaw, the one thing that needs to change against Kansas City, you're not going to be Kansas City going 3 of 12 on third down. You're going to get walked out of the place if you're 3 of 12. And I understand that Doug Peterson is aggressive, and obviously, fourth down, he went for 3 of them and made 1 overall. That's what? That's 4 of 15. Holy Toledo. On 3rd and 4th down. You're not going to win again. Yeah, you'll knock off Indy. You're not going to knock off Kansas City. So that has to improve. Doug Peterson today asked about execution on third down.
Our execution, honestly. Nothing, out of the ordinary. We knew exactly where they were going to be defensively and just, execution. We were laid off the ball a couple of times with the noise and things like that. So things we can correct and things we can fix. But those are all opportunities. I think when you look at the, 3rd and 4th down scenarios that we had in the game, if you would have told me that we'd have been average 3rd and 4 for the entire game, you would be in that 60-70% range of conversion. And so those are things we'll take a look at and we got to fix.
I don't have the overall down and distance. It felt like at times, though, it was very manageable. And we went through a couple of those examples. 3rd and 2, the Trevor sneak, 3rd and 1, the pitch out, the wide pitch to Travis Etienne, who I felt they should have gone to more earlier in the game. He was running hard. And I got to go back to Bernie Parmalay's comments and with Doug Peterson earlier this year when they talked about with Travis Etienne about not running to the hole, but running through the hole. He just seems like he's got a little extra burst, doesn't he? And he was breaking some tackles. And that final run, there's nothing there. And he had the vision to pop outside, and no one was going to catch him. I think Etienne going to have a huge year. 18 carries, 77 yards, 5 receptions. Remember, he only had 35 a year ago. I said I thought he'd go north of 50 in year 2. Well, he begins the season with 5 receptions. So you're talking 23 touches on Sunday for Travis Etienne. That is a very good thing. All right, final thought from the coach, all right, as he met with the media today. Jacksonville in this football game, Greg Jr. came out early with a hamstring. The second-year man who had a fantastic camp. I've been saying all along I think he should be the starter at nickel. Trey Herndon took every snap at nickel yesterday. Trey Herndon played well. 3rd highest grade defensively, according to Pro Football Focus. And they use him in a variety of different ways. Mike Caldwell is getting a little bit more aggressive with some blitzes. Be very interesting to see how that comes into play this weekend against Kansas City. The big loss was Brandon Sheriff. It looked really bad when he went down. He came back, and I was like, wow, what a tough guy. Remember this man a year ago? He had hernias. He had surgery, right? A hernia surgery after the season. He played with it was either partially ripped or ripped abdomen. I mean, think about how painful that must be. And a lot of people like Brandon Sheriff, they spent a lot of money, didn't play all that well. Pro Football Focus said it was the worst year of his career. The guy's a true professional. He went out and played hurt all the time. He tried to come back and play hurt on the ankle yesterday, and it just didn't work out for him. Doug Peterson today was asked about the loss of Brandon Sheriff.
X-rays, MRI just showed an ankle sprain, and he'll be pretty tender these next couple of days, and we'll just keep monitoring him, day to day as we go this week. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a loss for the offensive line, pretty substantial. But yeah, his leadership, obviously with Anton, there and the communication they've had and the rapport they've had, since the offseason, but if he can't, we're confident. Shatley filled in well, veteran guy, knows the system. We'll do the same thing as far as the communication goes, with Anton and himself. So all the confidence in the world that we'll have the answers there.
Tyler Shatley, who played a ton last year at left guard, played 33 snaps yesterday at right guard, 37 for Sheriff. And you talk about Anton at the right tackle position. Why do I want to believe the toughness of Brandon Sheriff, and again, playing through his injuries last year, and his wisdom rubbed off on Anton Harrison, who had that shoulder issue? We haven't heard anything about the shoulder in quite some time. He wasn't on the injury report this past week. That offensive line played all 70 snaps outside of Sheriff. I mean, both tackles gave you 70, Little and Harrison. Barch at left guard, Fortner at center. But all of a sudden now, they have a lot of faith in their swing guard, Brandon Sheriff. My guess is that if Tyler Shatley can play, there's no pain tolerance isn't an issue. This man will play. It's whether or not he can be productive. And that's what you're going to have to ask yourself. Chris Jones signed today, so, they're not going to – some people are like, do you think he'll play this week? Yes. They're paying this guy more than $1 million a game? Yes. They're 0-1. There's no question that Chris Jones is going to play this weekend for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, tonight's show brought to you by Patriot Roofing Services, specializing in all types of commercial and residential roofing and repairs, gutters, sun tubes, skylights. Financing available, 10-year workmanship warranty, no subcontractors. Give my buddy Mark Tuzzolo a call, 982-4052, licensed and insured. Or better yet, just check them out online. Go to Patriot Roofing for your commercial and residential repairs, or if you need a new roof. All right, let's get to some of your comments. 641-1010, a lot burning in here on our text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. With you tonight till 8 o'clock.
You down with J-A-G? Yeah, you know me. You down with J-A-G? Yeah, you know me. You down with J-A-G? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with J-A-G?
The Bold City. 1010XL, proud flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community-owned utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Matt Hayes here. Whenever you need your cooling system repaired, you can count on Fenwick Home Services experts to repair your system the same day or you don't pay. Plus, we're offering $50 off your next AC repair. We also provide zero-fee 24-hour emergency services with night and weekend availability. Plus, all of our repair services come with our worry-free guarantee. Call Fenwick today or book online at fenwickhomeservices.com.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season is finally here, and with that, hopefully comes cooler weather. And if you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space and just haven't pulled the trigger, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures right now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, you have told us about the importance of cutting a diamond properly and about color and weight. But how do you judge the clarity of a diamond?
Frank, that's a good question that has a very specific answer. Diamonds are graded at 10-power magnification using a binocular microscope. But when you're shopping for diamonds, a lot of times a sales clerk will just hand you a magnifying glass called a jeweler's loupe and have you look into the diamond. While an expert knows how to do this, it's kind of tough on a novice because they don't know how to create the same dark field illumination that a binocular microscope gives. As a result, the customer may or may not be able to see anything. That's why at Underwoods we set the clarity grade of a diamond with a binocular microscope. We have these instruments in every store and invite our customers to examine the diamond underneath them. We can show you the microscopic inclusions that affect the rarity and value of a diamond. So if you're shopping for fine quality diamonds and want the facts, come see us at Underwoods.
That's Underwood Jewelers in San Marco, in Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 11, 1918, the Boston Red Sox beat the Chicago Cubs 2-1 at Fenway Park to win their 5th World Series title.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
Post-Game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Even as prices seem higher on almost everything lately, you can count on Famous Quick Lube to still have the best price in town on quick oil change service. Visit any of their 13 locations, including the new shop on San Jose and now in Jax Beach. The Famous team will have your oil changed, tires rotated, and fluids topped off before you can finish your coffee. For fast, friendly service, personal VIP attention, and the best price in town, go to Famous Quick Lube, servicing every customer like they're famous.
Ackerman Urology offers the most advanced options for improving men's health and vitality. Their board-certified urologists treat all prostate disease and sexual health issues. Call their new location on Atlantic and Hodges or visit AckermanUrology.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tomorrow night after Helmets and Heels, Wednesday night 6 to 8, Thursday night 6 to 8, out in Bartram at Mellow Mushroom. And we're going to have a party out there sponsored by Miller Lite, the Miller Lite Girls, Miller Lite Swag, Miller Lite Drink Specials, and 2 tickets for the Jags and the Chiefs. Got to come on by, register, drop your name in the pitcher, buy me a 24-ounce Miller Lite, and you may win. That'll be Thursday. Friday during high school, we're on 3 to 6 on the AM. That is 1010, the station, as well as 1010, the app. I just saw this from ESPN. Man. The Jaguars-Falcons game in London is going to be animated. It's going to be
like Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it doesn't say where, but it's going to be like Toy Story themed.
So it won't be like an animated Trevor. It'll be like Trevor's being played by Woody or Buzz. There's really not that many characters.
I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to figure all that out. But what I want to know is, since this is going to be really captivating for, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds, are they going to be screaming at Press Taylor on 3rd and 1 for for running a sweep with Travis Etienne? I mean, some of the graphics they have here seems like it would be, I guess, somewhat interesting.
Oh, each player has animated representation. Andy's room from Toy Story will replicate on-field gameplay.
I don't know what to make of that.
So they're using ESPN Next Gen stats to provide tracking alongside Pixar. So, like, what happens in the game, same with baseball and StatCast. Like, if I hit a ball, it'll instantly tell the broadcasters and everybody else who's following online how hard it's hit, how high it's hit, the trajectory, all that. So they're just taking everything that happens in the NFL game, and it's somehow in a computer database, and it just runs through all that with the animation.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But, I mean, like, when I was a kid, I just liked Toy Story, but I also liked football.
Yeah.
Like, I would just watch both. Like, I was still, kids still enjoy the actual sport.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I mean, I got to believe that what Roger Goodell would tell you is that they're trying to grow the game.
Yes, of course.
Okay. And this is the best way to grow the game is when you got your little boy, your little girl who's still in diapers, you stick her in front of Nickelodeon, you watch the animated version of Jacksonville, Atlanta, which gets underway at like 9 a.m.
So what do they do when there's
on a Sunday morning?
A insanely terrible Jacoby Myers head injury
I don't
during
know.
the broadcast. What is the Toy Story role going to be with that? Everyone is on a knee hoping that this guy is able to walk.
My guess would be is they wheel out an ambulance and they have two guys with like a stretcher. Remember when you were a little girl, you used to play like soldiers?
Of course.
And you always had the two soldiers that carried the stretcher?
Yeah, the medics.
I think they're going to have a version of that.
That's so terrible.
It really is terrible, but I mean, what are you going to do if someone does end up getting injured? I don't know what to make. But when the Jags play, and I watch it in my bar, obviously I have 3 games on, but I give my end of and as a matter of fact, yesterday I thought those 1:00 games were kind of poor.
Terrible.
Yeah, what I did is I had another game on. I think actually, as a matter of fact, I had it on Red Zone. But I delay my second TV by like 15 seconds. So I can watch the play live, and then I can watch the play over immediately after on the next TV 15 seconds later. And you'd be surprised how much more you honestly see the second time around.
Oh, yeah. I have to do it sort of like that. I only get to see it once, but I'm working, so I always hear what happens from the broadcast, like about 10, 12 seconds before it happens on the TV.
Yeah.
So I get to look at the positions where, if I know a sack's coming, I get to see the guy off the line and, which normally I just ball watch.
But if this game is at like 9:30 in the morning, okay, there's not any other games going on. Red Zone is basically irrelevant because this is the only game. So I can do the same deal. I can have the game live, the game 15 seconds in delay, and then on my third TV, I can have the animated version on.
Yes, of course.
To figure out what's going on with that. So I don't even know what else to say.
Now, did you watch the Toy Stories with your kids?
Absolutely.
They're amazing.
Well,
I haven't seen the third one, but I heard it'll make me cry as an adult.
I took my girls in Chicago to the Wiggles.
Oh, man.
Okay? At the Allstate Arena. Bro, that place was filled to the gills. I mean, it was like 15,000 people.
Stealing money.
In there. And it was like my ex-wife and I used to laugh about it because it was almost like an episode out of like Seinfeld or something. Because one of the Wiggles, they came into the aisles and actually like touched my shoulder, and I was holding my youngest baby Tegan with me, and then all of a sudden, like, we looked like 8 rows over. It was my next door neighbor who was staring at us with his kid, and he was mortified because like his kid like started crying
because his kid didn't get touched.
Yeah, it was just like it's
like the Beatles. Oh, it's like Beatlemania.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it was something that we talked about for years after the fact, because he was like one of those neighbors that would really let that bother him. You know what I'm saying? He probably spent money and had actually better seats, but I was on the aisle.
He was supposed to get like back seat passes, back row passes or something. Like, they're the guys who dressed up like there's a purple guy, a pink guy, an orange guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was just like a singing troupe.
Captain Feather, maybe
wow.
Captain Feathersword? Maybe was his name? Yeah.
How do you get into like children's entertainment?
When you're up that early in the morning, you're just trying to keep them happy, man. And
I'm saying, how did they get into it?
I don't know.
Not of course, the parent. You're just like throw on whatever, but
yeah,
who's like, I want to be in a singing group with grown men, but we're singing only children's songs.
Yeah, that I don't know.
We're gonna make tens of millions of dollars.
I used to think about that back during the Sesame Street days. I mean, that's just. I mean, if you like to meet someone and say, hey, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, I want to perform for children. You know, people can kind of look at you weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know, I want to be in an animated show. You know, I'm gonna, yeah, I don't.
This is probably gonna upset a lot of people listening, but I feel the same. Like the guy who's the Little League coach whose kid's not like on the team, like he doesn't have a kid.
Yeah.
It's just like, so you're just a Little League coach? Like you just love helping out that much.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
You know, all right.
To each his own.
Let's get to the top of the hour. I was seeing today, Joe Buck. You know how long Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have been together? As far as the broadcast?
Probably 15 years.
22 years.
Wow.
I was like, what? 22 years? I mean, I would have said maybe 12.
I mean, Aikman got
13.
into it like immediately after he retired, so I guess that makes sense.
All right, we got much more to do. Got a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff actually coming on in. If you'd like to join the conversation on our text line, that number is 641-1010. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Defending against an attack is a critical part of security.
Turnover!
And the defensive player of the game can help secure a victory.
Now we got to play D, boys.
After the game, catch the superior fence and rail defensive player of the game on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two long-haired blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market, most passing yards, pays the most for your trade, most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase, Super Bowl champion, wow, customer service. I think we can make all this happen. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Hey Jacksonville, this is 17-time PGA Tour winner Jim Furyk inviting you to join me and the legends of the PGA Tour for the 3rd annual Constellation Furyk & Friends presented by Circle K, October 2 through 8 at Timaquana Country Club. Public parking is free, along with complimentary tournament access for our military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Go to Ticketmaster to get your tickets today, and if you're not traveling to London, to watch the Jags this fall, join us Sunday morning in the Publix Tailgate Village to catch the game on the big screen. For more information, visit ConstellationFurykandFriends.com.
Hey, this is Jason with Bueller Air Conditioning. Why do we love to go to that awesome grocery store where shopping is a pleasure? Why do we choose that amazing chicken sandwich where the service is fast and friendly and it's always their pleasure? You see, those brands are a promise. Here at Bueller Air, our team is committed to serving the customer and delivering that same kind of brand promise. Our mission is to be the most trusted brand with friendly and professional service every single time. Give us a call today or visit BuellerAir.com.
Are you an experienced automotive technician and tired of working for employers who put profit over people? Then come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road and get trained on how to diagnose and rebuild today's complex transmissions. See how we're different. Get traction on your career and come to Action.
Equal opportunity employer. Make sure your home is protected this hurricane season by scheduling a complimentary roof inspection with Universal Roof and Contracting. And right now, get 10% off roof replacement and repairs. The first 50 callers will save an additional $500 on a full roof replacement. And this offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Universal Roof and Contracting, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. License number CCC 1330747, CVC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
Racetrack is celebrating professional drivers all September with special offers at your local Pritchard Travel Center. Use your Racetrack Rewards app to earn double points on in-store purchases. Fuel up during Truck Driver Appreciation Week with $4 meal deals, a free Nathan's hot dog, and in-store giveaways. 1010XL will be live at the Pritchard store this Thursday from noon to 3. Stop by and show your CDL to win gift cards worth up to $500. Visit rttruckdrivers.com. Racetrack, whatever gets you going.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there for our highly anticipated 2023 home opener Sunday, September 17th, when your AFC South champs take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Kickoff is at 1, so be sure to grab your gear and help us teal out the stands. Lock in your seats now at jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you back at the bank.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pickup basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at BarryOrthopedics.com.
They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. Now, who are we?
Roland Reach Plumbing!
Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, some unbelievable deals going on right now at Key Buick GMC, both on the GMC Sierras, which I love, which I own, and everything that is Buick right now. But, man, Rates as low as 0.9%, 36 months. 3.1% for 60 months. Even 5.1% for 72 months. So you got all sorts of great deals that are happening right now. Key Buick GMC, right across the street from Tinseltown. Of course, I own love my GMC Sierra truck, and the GF is incredibly happy with her Key Buick Enclave. Can fit any budget, used cars, plenty in the lot. So check them out. Great service over there as well, right across the street from Tinseltown. Okay, one of the major storylines with the Jaguars going into the season was, and finally, was there enough balls to go around? Something that's really never been said about this franchise. I mean, back in the day when you had Brunell with Taylor and Jimmy and Keenan, there were enough balls to go around, right? This year, it feels like someone is going to be left behind since they have added Calvin Ridley. And that player on Sunday, by a large margin, was Christian Kirk. And what I found was interesting is if they went to a lot of two tight end sets. But Calvin Ridley played 57 snaps. He played 81% of the offensive snaps. Zay Jones played 62. How good was his grab? Okay. That is, let's see here. That is 89% of the snap. Christian Kirk, 42 snaps. So, major drop-off there behind Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley. And, when you look at the targets, 8 of 11 for Ridley, 5 of 7 for Jones, 5 of 5 for Engram, 5 of 5 for Travis Etienne, okay? 1 of 3 for Christian Kirk. So he only got 3 targets on Sunday. Yeah, I think. And other wide receivers, Jamal Agnew, 3 snaps, and he got 2 carries. He wasn't able to do anything with it. Tim Jones had 2 snaps. That's it. Those are your 4th and 5th wide receivers. Tim Jones is playing gunner, if you're wondering. He's opposite Daniel Thomas. I mean, Jaguar special teams, again, sensational on Sunday. Set up the game-winning score by Jamal Agnew. Look at the blocking. Logan Cook's a weapon, okay? They feel really, really good overall about their kicking game with McManus. But they have had 2 really good gunners the last several years. Daniel Thomas on one end and Chris Claybrooks on the other end. Of course, Claybrooks is on the commissioner's suspension list. So it was Tim Jones who drew that responsibility on Sunday for the Jaguars. 85-58, Rick and JJ, should I put on an APB for Devin Lloyd? His stats didn't back it up, but I thought he played okay. He wasn't a tackling machine like Aloakon. And how about Aloakon's pass breakup at the end of the game? And what's he doing on Pittman? Imagine if that had been a touchdown. I think he's had a good camp. I think he's all right. I'm going to give him a pass. I didn't think that he played as bad as some people are saying. 28-35 says Baloo. Press probably told Doug he's getting handcuffed, not calling the plays. I don't like it. Press Taylor, I think, is going to be a head coach in this league. He's got the look and he's got the bloodlines. I'm not sure. It wasn't perfect. But it's also not his first rodeo. He worked with Doug in Philadelphia as passing game coordinator. He reportedly called plays in the second half last year. So, I don't know what else to make of that. 1176 says, Rick, how come Eagles fans are often of the belief that Press was Doug's downfall during their time in Philadelphia? Is that something to be concerned about? Well, absolutely it's something to be concerned about. He's an honorable guy, I remember last year thinking it's not going to work for Mike Caldwell. Like a lot of you out there were probably in the same camp. May not admit that now. Hey, the defense played well yesterday. They only gave up 14 points. Granted, they were taking on a rookie quarterback with no running game. I mean, Zach Moss was hurt. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor was out. But I thought the Jaguars did a nice job defensively, right? The Colts were 2 of 12 on third down. They were 1 of 5 on fourth down. They couldn't run. I thought they played well against the pass. And, when I look at Press Taylor, yes, right now he's probably the most unpopular guy on this team based on the performance yesterday. But I still, I'm not putting him in a body bag right now and throwing him out the front door. And I think that's what some of you want. It's not going to happen. Doug Peterson was loyal to a fault, some will say, in Philadelphia, which is very honorable. You got to remember, Doug brought in a first-time offensive, defensive, and special teams coordinator. Special teams, the kicking deal was kind of a mess in camp, but it was a good season. Special teams was a really good season. The defense totally came around second half of the year. They started to make some changes, and obviously were a little bit more aggressive. This offense, 31 points. Okay, I know it. The style points were pretty sensational. I mean, you look at that touchdown by Zay, you look at that scramble by Lawrence, hitting Ridley, you look at the bump off and then bouncing to the outside by ETN. And Bigsby, in my opinion, is going to be a really good back. He's going to be a good red zone back. Travis Etienne is not a great red zone back. He's just not. Now, it feels, if you noticed, especially when he took it outside, but even earlier in the game, JJ, I know I've been saying it all camp, doesn't Travis Etienne look a half step faster than a year ago?
Well, maybe he knows that he's got somebody who's, sort of close to his ability right behind him.
I agree with that. I also think it's another year after that brutal injury that he was able to come back from. He just looks that much better, in my particular opinion. All right, let's grab a couple more of these. Getting a ton that are coming in on the Jags. Baloo, give Tank a break with regards to that play. In the Iron Bowl, he was dragged out of bounds by famous All-American safety Jordan Battle on the play. Okay, all right. Yeah. He still should have gotten now. And in that game, in that moment, unfortunately, that's always going to be what he is remembered for. In that rivalry. He won't be remembered about that here. Hopefully he has a very good career and people will let that go. But when he's remembered for that play and then kind of his lackadaisical attitude when the whistle did not blow, yeah, people right now are going to be overboard with it. He's not into the game. He doesn't think during the game. I'm sure it became a major talking point with Bernie Parmalee. The second after that did take place. But I still, listen, I'm all in on Tank. I think he's going to be real good. And the way I look at running backs anyway, you're only going to get them for 4 years tops. I mean, you're going to pay fifth-year money to keep ETN in 2 years. Tank Bigsby comes around and give you 4 years, and what do? You go out and you find more backs. There's just not a lot of respect for that particular position. 21-29, but with the Bigsby interception was way worse than the fumble. Everyone thought that play was dead. Anyway, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that wasn't good either.
It was weird that he jumped.
Mm-hmm.
Because he sort of didn't have to. And it just popped right up.
Well, I'm shaking my head because, and you and I have had a lot of conversations about this, the scouting reports told us he wasn't a third down back and he did not have great hands.
I could see that now.
In camp, he was unbelievable. I mean, I'll never forget that first rookie camp on that Saturday that was not rookie camp. That was regular off-season mini camp, okay? Voluntary mini camp. And it was a Saturday practice inside the bank, inside the stadium. And he made some plays that day. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. He has shown really soft hands the entire spring. So I still think it's fixable. I don't know. Maybe he was nervous. Maybe it was his first NFL game.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at the rookies, Anton Harrison played every snap. Brenton Strange, let's see here. I got it right in front of me. Played 27 snaps. And he was really the second blocking tight end behind, obviously, Luke Farrell. How good of a job did Brenton Strange do at goal line? I mean, pushing Tank Bigsby at least 2 yards from the, 4 to the goal line. That was fun to watch. But outside of those two rookies, you really didn't get anything else. You got 6 snaps out of Yasir Abdullah, and he had 1 pressure. I think he's earned more. Once again, serious question to the casual Jaguar fan. Not the passionate one, but the casual one. Did you see K'Lavon Chaisson on the football field yesterday?
0 pressures.
14 pass rushing attempts. 0 for 14. Okay? That's lower than Kyle Schwarber, who's up to 200 now after a 2 for 4 effort.
And he just had another hit, unfortunately, tonight in the doubleheader.
Yep.
It's upsetting.
Oh, it is a doubleheader.
Yes.
Can we get an up to the moment batting average on Kyle?
Yeah, 1 second.
He's going to be over 200 because he began at 200.
As of this afternoon, he was 201, and he has a single in the first.
But he got it.
He got out. Yes.
So he got down to 200 again.
So we're at 202, unfortunately.
Whoa.
He's batting right now.
Tearing. Yeah, but if he's already got a hit, that means
we need at least him to go like 1 for 4 tonight.
Yeah, but in the next 3 games, he's going to have to go 1 for 10 in order. A 1 for 10 effort would keep him at 200. These at bats are like nothing.
Yeah, they are. This is gold.
He's losing like 3/4 of a point. Excuse me, like 1/4 or 1/3 of a point with every out.
Yeah, we have 19 games left, by the way.
When you think about it, now that you got there, all he's got to do now is get 2 hits every 10 at bats. You said he's what, 1 for 1 tonight?
Yep.
Okay. So if he gets one more hit,
just walked.
If he gets 1 more hit in his next 9 at bats, he's going to stay at 200. I can do that math. So let's see. That was basically it for the rookies, right? I don't think any other rookie saw any playing time whatsoever outside of special teams. I'm talking about offensive and defensive snaps. So, I mean, this rookie class has been really Tank Bigsby at 15, Brenton Strange 27, Anton Harrison 70, and to my count, Yasir Abdullah with 6. That's it. That rotation was interesting, man. Roy Robertson Harris gave him 48 snaps. Wow. Big Foley, 33, coming back after the heel. Impressive. Adam Gotsis, a huge bat down on 4th down. Gave him 28 snaps in their base defense. Guys coming off the pine. Jeremiah Ledbetter. Unfortunately, I didn't see a lot out of him in 28 snaps. Or 26 snaps. Doesn't mean he didn't have a good game, but he was someone that's really stood out at times during the preseason. Let me see what they gave him for tackles, if anything at all. Ledbetter, okay, he had 1 assist. So that's it there for the guy who, played almost as much as Gotsis. He was clearly the 4th lineman who came in. The fifth guy who came in was Angelo Blackson, 22 snaps. Ross Blacklock. I mean, this is great. Angelo Blackson with 22 snaps. Ross Blacklock with 6 snaps. Why do I believe you can get in trouble if you say that name 10 times real fast?
Yeah, don't search that on the computer. Be very wary.
Not suitable for work. So there you go. But, you know, getting 28 snaps out of Angelo Blackson and Ross Blacklock is pretty impressive because that's not the plan. The plan is Tyler Lacey. The plan is the return of Devon Hamilton. If you can win a guy with role players, I mean, what are the chances of these two being on the roster once you get to the playoffs? You know what I mean? It's interesting how you mix and match and how you're able to do things like this as a football team on a week-to-week basis. Look at all the injuries yesterday. This is something this football team is going to have to do. Offensively, you lost Sheriff. I mean, in this game, Shatley played almost as many snaps. 37 for Sheriff, 33 for Shatley. Shatley's a guy who continues to sign, 1-year deals or 2-year deals. He comes back every year. The guy plays. And he can do 3 things for you. He can play left guard, as he did all last year. He can play center. And he can play right guard. And that'll be the biggest injury situation all week long. We'll be monitoring that. Off day tomorrow, then back out there on Wednesday. I'll be in the locker room on Wednesday trying to get the very latest, but I have a feeling what we're going to be told. Monitoring it day to day. I'd be shocked if he practices on Wednesday. That's going to be a DMP. Maybe a DMP on Thursday. By Friday, why do I smell a limited and he becomes a game-time decision? 90 minutes before a kick, do you scratch him? You know, you have Hance as a backup. You have Van Lanen as a backup. They'll probably call up someone else from the practice squad. This is a tough man. If he can play, he'll be out there. And, you know, I think that was lost last year, too. He did not have a great year by his standards. It wasn't anything close to a Pro Bowl year. But he played hurt. And I think that rubs off on other guys. Imagine him going out there and you're a guy like Anton Harrison, all of a sudden your shoulder starts bothering, and you see the guy next to you that you know had a torn abdomen a year ago and now is dealing with this problem with the ankle but guts it out. Got to believe that speaks volumes for the guys around you on the offensive line. I may be dead wrong with that, but I believe that would be the case. All right, appreciate all your input. Way too many. Or I shouldn't say it that way. It's never too many. I appreciate way too many for me to respond to all of you. Tomorrow night, we take phone calls. Listeners, our Tuesday night routine. Right after we take the Phillips Highway stroll, we take phone calls on the Jags. We take phone calls on college football. Speaking of which, I haven't even mentioned it yet. On the other side, let's get to some things that happened on Saturday. A lot of college football coming up with you tonight till 8.
There's an energy and drama to play-by-play sports.
This crowd, a big factor.
You never know what's going to happen.
Wow!
Feel the energy on 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Hey, bourbon lovers. Tim Pierson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey, the only Tennessee high malt. Did you know that Chattanooga Whiskey was awarded Craft Producer of the Year by Whiskey Magazine? It's true. We spent years perfecting our uniquely crafted, award-winning style of bourbon we call Tennessee high malt, with notes of butterscotch, toasted honey, and chocolate-covered cherries. And since the fall is finally here, so is bourbon season. Celebrate with a bourbon that is truly the world's best in craft. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey. Enjoy responsibly.
E.T. here for the Aesthetic Center. Do you get up a lot at night to go to the bathroom and lose a lot of much-needed sleep? And you can never fully go back to sleep, can you? Am I right? Take a time out on the Emsella chair. Get those pelvic floor muscles strong again. Just a few short sessions will get you back in the game stronger than ever. And guess what, guys? It can also help you out with that ED, if you know what I'm saying. Call 808-2455 to get started. That's 808-2455. Or book an appointment online at JacksAestheticCenter.com.
Is your house exterior due for a wash? First Coast Home Pros has thousands of 5-star reviews for a reason. They get amazing results on even the toughest pressure washing jobs. Schedule now at firstcoasthomepros.com.
At Ratify Credit Union, we know that a dream home is about more than location and square footage. It's about fulfilling the dream of homeownership and all the dreaming that takes place inside. Building a nursery, starting a business, throwing a graduation party. That's why at Ratify, we're more than just home lenders. We're the fulfiller of dreams. With home and home equity loans that prove dream homes to come. Union is an equal housing lender insured by NCUA.
Tailgaters Parking is ready for football. Tailgaters proudly offers game day parking. Arrive 4 hours before kickoff and enjoy indoor restrooms, Growler's full-service bar and grill, and easy access in and out. Visit tailgatersparking.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 11, 1918, the Boston Red Sox beat the Chicago Cubs 2-1 at Fenway Park to win their 5th World Series title.
You've got bad shoulders, knees, elbows. Got sprain, strain, or pain in your muscles. PRPrelief.com. PRPrelief.com. Best priced PRPrelief.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
AutoZone is more than a parts store. It's where we help you solve problems like, sorry I'm late, my battery died. And
I need a jump. Again.
At America's #1 battery destination, you can find the right battery at the right price with options starting at only $89.99. And we offer free battery testing and charging whenever you need it. Get the parts and help you need to get the job done right at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Andy's Automotive and Truck Services, they know that your company's fleet is more than just a bunch of cars and trucks. It's your livelihood, your reputation, your pride. So when you need routine fleet maintenance or emergency repairs, Andy's offers after-hours and mobile service to minimize your downtime and keep your fleet running like new. While you care for your employees and customers, rest assured Andy's Automotive will take care of your fleet. Visit the team at andysats.com.
Ackerman Urology is now servicing the Beaches community. If you have elevated PSA, prostate, bladder, or kidney issues, plan to see the experts at Ackerman Urology right away at the new location on Atlantic and Hodges Boulevard.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, good weekend in college football. Obviously, the big story is Texas. Boy, does Quinn Ewers throw a good football. 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. Texas, the better team than Alabama. 5 sacks of Jalen Milroe, had a couple of picks, and we just to see if Bama is able to fix that. Of course, the day began again with Colorado. Very impressive, knocking off Nebraska. That's an issue as well. Jeff Sims, right out of Jacksonville, is a turnover machine. Dion in Colorado keeps all of this running. I was called a hater by some because Skip Bayless put out there, this is the greatest coaching performance in the history of athletics. I was like, Skip, you are such a sellout. What Deion is doing is nothing short of incredible, but you can't anoint anyone that after only 2 games. And, of course, that is what Skip Bayless did.
Well, I saw Mike Greenberg. He said Tua won the MVP. So that's after 1 game.
He was good last night.
Oh, he was sick. That game was electric. And Kevin Harlan was electric.
Kevin Harlan.
Super underrated.
Actually, I think he is rated.
Oh, okay.
I think he's considered. Maybe he may be a little bit more noted for hoops.
Well, he just never does the biggest games. You know, maybe that's why I say that. He doesn't do the Chiefs-Lions, you know, on Thursday night. He's not the number 1 CBS team. But he does get high-quality games, and I get that people are like, listen, it's game 1. You don't need to leave it all on the field like it's a playoff game or the Super Bowl. But it was fun. It was back and forth. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be.
He, every play he called was like, it was like the whole world was hanging on that one play.
Yes, I know that bothers some.
No.
It bothers me with Gus to a degree. Gus Johnson.
Yep. Florida State, a little shaky early on, but just completely dominant against an inferior opponent. Almost the entire team played for FSU. The only concern that came out of that game is what's going on with Johnny Wilson. He almost didn't look interested. Some people believe he had 5 drops and 0 receptions. I had him for 4. That was scary, man. It really was. Tyler Van Dyke has settled in, and Jacoby George with 3 touchdowns. The always reliable Restrepo. I love the Colby Young kid. He's 6'5". He looks like a tight end. What's the latest on the injuries now? The Cam Kitchens thing.
He's fine. So it was scary. Obviously, he had some type of head injury, concussion or whatever it was. They're very, it's not the NFL where they have to be very open about injuries. So they were just like, hey, yeah, he's fine. He's out of the hospital or whatever. I would expect him not to play in the next couple games because he's not needed. They play Bethune on Thursday night. They play at Temple. Yes, they have to play at Temple. Mm-hmm. The week after that, and then they have a bye before Georgia Tech. So, you can afford to have him sit out for a few weeks. He's easily the best player on the defense.
Oh, he's a first-round pick.
Oh, yeah.
And he could be an All-American, so, we'll see what happens. Wait till you listen to that broadcast crew.
Who?
On Thursday night. They did the Florida State
Southern Miss game. Terrible.
I think it's like Jorge Sedano. And
I know him.
And the former offensive lineman with the Canes, or Orlando Franklin.
I'm assuming you didn't enjoy it.
I was okay with it. I was laughing, but fans just love to complain.
Oh, of course.
And
I love to complain.
They did make quite a few mistakes, and it got really hard on them because Florida State started playing walk-on after walk-on, and they weren't on their on their depth chart card, and
they were trying to track the Bama game the whole time.
I tell you, we talked about, you just mentioned Kevin Harlan. How about Joey Tessitore, man?
Dude, he was...
When Kitchens went down, this man walks old ladies across the road.
Dude, he was talking about every charity he's ever taken part of.
He feeds the homeless. He reads the 5-year-old. I was like, holy...
Dude, I didn't even realize Kitchens was such a great guy.
I was like, damn, man.
Dude,
I hope this guy's all right because he is officially the greatest human being on this planet, according to Joe Tessitore.
Joe Tess was in his element, man, on Saturday. He was, you would have thought that was a college football playoff. Talk about a guy who goes above and beyond the call of duty. Joe Tess.
Mm-hmm. It was an interesting weekend. It really was.
I loved it. There wasn't too many crazy endings. I thought the Oregon-Texas Tech game was fun. I thought even late night, like Auburn barely survived against Cal. I couldn't stay up for anything after that.
Well, unfortunately, our friend Tim Brando's game was not.
I heard it was
not a
close.
good one. I mean, they blew out Stanford, but I watched. I watched that, and what was the other game? Was it Arizona State?
Yes, went to overtime. Right? Or no, Arizona went to overtime, I believe. Arizona State, Rashada is good.
Watched him. Yeah, they ended up losing. He threw a bad interception, but he did some pretty good things early on. He's going to be a good one.
Oklahoma State, that's
right. That was it. It was.
This has been.
It was out west.
It's been a fun season so far.
It has, and it just feels like it's
like college football is supposed to be.
Georgia hasn't really had an opponent yet, so you haven't been able to gauge anything. We'll see what happens with them against South Carolina this weekend. They're like a 4-touchdown favorite.
Yeah.
Michigan continues to cruise. Florida State moved up to number 3. They moved up 2 spots. Of course, Texas moved up 6 spots to 4. USC now 5. Ohio State dipped. They didn't get the style points.
People don't love the quarterback play. Oh, I'll give you a game and a team from this weekend that almost got upset. UNC.
I watched it.
Such a great performance, against South Carolina and everything. They all, App State always does this to everybody. So
did you watch that game?
I watched the end,
okay,
like when it started to get to overtime. But no, I didn't.
The ACC network sucks.
I think it was on during the Miami game, so I don't really get to watch.
They really do. And I have ESPN Plus, so I was able to get the Florida State game. But a lot of Florida State fans couldn't get the game, right. and there wasn't another channel. But if you'd paid any attention to the end of that game, with the reviews that they kept doing, and
took forever.
They could not get it right. They just it was a play that was either, I don't remember if it was complete or incomplete or whatever, but then they didn't have the right yardage, the down and distance. They had to go back and do it again, and then they would go, setting up for a game-tying field goal, and May wanted to run it to the other hash, and he did, and, it appeared that there was exactly 1 second left on the clock, but then they said no. There was actually 7 seconds left on the clock. So now this field goal attempt, whether if he made it, App State would have had a shot, but it took him forever.
There was a review for an illegal substitution.
Oh man, it just went on and on and on, and I'm actually feeling bad for Florida State fans, and there's a couple of things I follow on social media. They are going absolutely insane. And then they go into overtime.
Oh,
then
dude.
They go into double overtime.
Well, how about the guy missed the kick?
Yeah.
They iced him, and then you're thinking, wow, this coach, what a stunad. This guy just missed. He iced him. They would have won, and then he misses it anyways. It was a terrible second attempt. But the kicker had to wait 10 minutes.
Even my buddy.
Even for the first one.
Yeah, even my buddy Gary Smits of the Florida Times Union, he's like, sorry, Rick, not everyone's a Florida State fan. This is the right call. And I'm like, it doesn't have an effect on me because I have ESPN Plus. I'm watching the game.
I do.
But there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Florida State fans who don't have ESPN Plus, and they're like, you got to be kidding me. It's one thing if a game's going in overtime, but when the officials are making the mistakes that they were making during this game.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I do hate when the fans are on Twitter complaining put my game on. You really think they're going to stop a game in overtime to throw on the first 10 minutes of your game? What are you, dumb?
I know
that never happens. That's not how it works. Get an app. Get your damn phone out. It's 2023.
You got to get with the times.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break here because we've overshot it. But this is how stupid the ACC network is. They're now sending their studio crew to their premier game. They sent them to Tallahassee. They announced this game between UNC and App State at 5:15. I've been watching college football for decades. I have never heard of a 5:15 start in my life. And with the Florida State game scheduled for 8:30, if you're going to do a primetime game and you're going to have a studio show, why not schedule the game for 4 o'clock? If you're an ACC network, You have a game at noon, you have a game at 4, and then you have your game at 8, 8:30, whatever it is. Not at 5:15, so you don't even get to do your studio show, because instead you're seeing refs trying to figure out where to put the ball, and you go into overtime and double overtime. So it's like everything else with the ACC. They're always 2 steps behind every other conference.
What do you get when you take football, add football, and even more football?
Abundanza!
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehabilitation Football Friday night. Friday from 3 till 7 on 1010XL.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of joint pain holding you back? Try BioTarget from Injury Care Centers. This treatment will prolong the life of your joints by targeting the root of your pain and delivering more regenerative cells to the affected area, ensuring faster and more effective healing, making BioTarget the most advanced regenerative treatment. For a limited time, BioTarget starts as low as $499. Call Injury Care Centers or visit GoBioTarget.com. That's GoBioTarget.com.
Money Pages is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. With 20 years of helping local businesses grow, Money Pages is Jacksonville's trusted multimedia leader. Money Pages has extensive experience in magazine publishing, direct mail, digital marketing, and branding. The Money Pages complete marketing system provides advertisers with integrated fulfillment to promote your business with multiple marketing channels. To learn more about advertising locally with a brand who knows Jacksonville, visit moneypages.com.
Legally Blonde comes to the Alhambra Theater for the first time ever this month. Lauren Brooks here. Make your plans for Ladies' Night now because this show is close to selling out. Everyone loves Legally Blonde, which starred Reese Witherspoon in the lead as Elle, who enrolled at Harvard Law to try to win back her ex-boyfriend. Plus, there's 2 dogs in the show. Legally Blonde begins September 28th. Get your tickets for Legally Blonde at the Alhambra for Girls' Night today at alhambrajacks.com. That's alhambrajacks.com.
At Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters, you get the golden standard in roofing. They can do 99% of home roofs in just one day. No construction activities lingering around for an extended period, allowing you to resume your normal activities. Plus weather protection. You minimize the risk for rain or weather damage during the construction process. Call or visit to find out if they can do your roof in just one day.
Golden Hammer Roofing and Gutters.
Golden Hammer!
The golden standard in roofing.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's best options. Pick it here. Watch for Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan is brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. They were fantastic in setting up my car loan. I've never had a bad experience, and I've banked with them for years. I trust First Florida Credit Union. I go to the branch off 210 in St. Johns County and the New Durban location, but they have 10 branches in the Jacksonville area. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
This is Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade.
Fast Twitch, an energy drink from Gatorade in 6 different flavors, including strawberry watermelon, cool blue, and tropical mango. And available at your local Winn-Dixie.
Start fast with Fast Twitch, a new energy drink from Gatorade.
On-the-go energy from Gatorade. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie.
Malfunctions in your electrical panel can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk. So leave it to the pros and Mr. Sparky.
888-8-Sparky.
Your on-time electrician, Mr. Sparky of the First Coast.
You probably remember your first fender bender, but very few can tell the story of their crash with a semi-truck. That's because an 18-wheeler weighs over 20 times more than the average car. You might see it coming, but you probably won't remember much after impact. You need experience on your side. Our forensic crash reconstruction team and truck accident specialists know how to recover black box data and build a case that hits back hard. Your consultation is free. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Mr. Rudy
Toilet or shower not draining? Water bill high? So many issues you want to cry? Call Mr. Rooter of Jacksonville. Have your number 2 business serviced by your number 1 plumber. Let us do your dirty work. Call us today.
Mr. Rooter, Mr. Rooter.
Elevate your party game to the next level with Mystic Cornhole Company. Visit their showroom now on the corner of Hogan and Parental Home Road. It's your one-stop destination for all things cornhole. MysticCornhole.com.
Brackish Vodka, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is the smoothest local vodka you can find. Made right here in Jacksonville, Florida, 100% from corn, Brackish Vodka is the local gluten-free choice. Brackish Vodka, for those that live life slightly salty, a proud partner of the Jaguars.
The next time you're at Southern Social Whiskey Bar and Lounge and you're looking for something slightly salty, ask for Brackish Vodka.
Even as prices seem higher on almost everything now, count on Famous Quick Lube to still have the best price in town. Get your oil changed, tires rotated, and fluids topped off super fast for the best price at Famous Quick Lube.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill. Brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
All right, Hackers coming up right now here on your home of the Jaguars. Jags win on the road by 10.
Yeah, and they didn't even play far from perfect, actually, and some weird things happened. The weird Trevor Lawrence, Tank Bigsby fumble on the same play, and Indianapolis gets a defensive touchdown. You know, it's interesting, Rick. One of my points tonight is on December 4th, which was not all that long ago, the Jaguars were 4-8 and going nowhere, and now all of a sudden here we are on September 11th, 9 months later, basically, and some are complaining about a 10-point road win.
Yeah.
What expectations do to a fan base is really interesting.
Yeah, and it's great to have this problem. It's so much better than rolling in here on a Monday after a loss and figuring out what went wrong. Now you're winning by 10 on the road in a place where you've lost 9 of 10. You're a much better team. You made some mistakes, but whether it's Press Taylor or Tank Bigsby, a lot of people are out there and they're angry about this. But you know what's great about the NFL is that'll be forgotten by Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And all the focus now becomes on Kansas City.
Well, look, I mean, the bottom line is it's never too early to look ahead. This Chiefs game is enormous for the AFC standings, right? If you beat Kansas City, you're essentially 3 games up on them with tiebreakers. If you lose to Kansas City, you're 1 back with tiebreakers. So I know it's only week 2, but good grief. You could have a 3-game lead or be trailing by 1 based on the outcome of Sunday's game.
Yeah, and how about the AFC South? Every other team already did lose on this opening weekend. And, you know, you got the Titans taking on the Chargers, who certainly played well with Miami yesterday, let it get away. And then you have that in-house rivalry where you throw everything out the window when you have Indianapolis visiting Houston.
A couple of rookie quarterbacks, somebody's going to get their first win.
Oh, if Richardson plays. Yeah, I mean, he got nicked up. But, yeah, 0 for 3. Those two, along with Bryce Young and Carolina, the rookie quarterbacks, all took a loss, which is common for rookie quarterbacks. What's coming up?
Yeah, Monday night means Monday night coaching with Campo, our man Dave Campo, our head coach here on Hacker After Dark, will join us tonight. And Florida, Tennessee comes up on Saturday, a huge game for Billy Napier and the Gators. And this is the last year that it's every year, right? It's been a rite of passage in September. Volunteers, Gators. Well, that's not going to be the case after this year. We're going to have former Florida Gator All-American tight end Ben Troop on with us in the 9 o'clock hour.
All right. Have a lot of fun, Hack.
Thanks, Rick.
That's coming up right now. Ben Troop, again, Florida hasn't won. Tennessee hasn't won there in nine times. Their last 9 attempts. And that'll be a 7 o'clock night game. I did see that Florida State Clemson, a week from Saturday, will be played at noon.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
Yeah, again, there's been a ton of complaints coming in. I love it when people complain because I enjoy doing it so much myself, especially when it's about something that is so incredibly important like sports and game times of games. Bunch of Florida State people are like, I can't believe you have to play at noon. I'm like, that's best case scenario. What do you want to play at 5:15? No kidding. What do you want to play at Clemson at 7:30 or 8 at night so you can allow that fan base to get all liquored up? No, you want to play them at high noon, and folks wake up, whatever, rush into the stadium. I love it. As a matter of fact, I wish the Gator game was at noon. Maybe Tennessee could win there for their first time in 10 trips. Playing them at 7 o'clock or 7:30 at night this Saturday absolutely favors the Florida Gators. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you to our good folks at Key Buick GMC. Tomorrow night after Helmets and Heels, 6 to 8, Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday night, Bartram Springs, Mellow Mushroom. We'll have a Miller Lite party from 6 to 8, and I have 2 tickets in my back pocket for the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision